of tonight's East Coast Reflector Tech Net. This is net number 623. So thanks for joining us. As usual, we have an order that we'll be taking check-ins. First up is system facilitators, ECR team members. Any silent keys? I didn't see the text message yet. Hopefully we didn't have any of those in the database. Looks like we did have one. I think we put that. Then I'll take check-ins from any new users to the system. And we'll move to the meat of the net. Any technical questions, amateur radio related technical questions that you swap and shop portion of the net. And we round out the night with general check-ins. We take check-ins by the number in your call sign, the district that your call sign is from, not necessarily where you are. Tonight's fours are up first. We'll do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then late and miss, I'll let you guys find out when we get there, taking which portion of that. Tonight's general question for everybody, regardless of where you check in, is do you have a VHF or UHF base station with an outdoor antenna? Do you have a VHF, UHF base station with an outdoor antenna? As I said before, the first group tonight and every night is the ECR team members. If you're an ECR team member and you'd like to check in, please come now. WB2JPQ. Good evening, Dick. WB2JPQ. Go ahead with your announcement.
Kevin? Yeah, with your permission, I'd like to play an announcement for Thursday night. We're having a POTA presentation, and I can't begin to say it as nicely as AI did, so I'm going to for everyone to listen to.
The system you're listening to is connected to the East Coast Reflector. Attention all POTA people. If you're into POTA or just want to check out one of the ECR's upcoming Zoom presentations, then listen up. Get your POTA self in the ECR Zoom room on May 29th at 7 p.m. to join Matt K. 2EAG and Angela N3ARB. They'll talk about how they got started in POTA, their experience participating in the 2023 WVE QSO party, where they achieved first place in the roving category, how they activated 5 islands, all by kayak, as well as recent CW kayak mobile POTA activations. They'll also discuss the upcoming 10-day special event in September, where clubs across New York State will be activating the Erie Canalway National Heritage Corridor for the Erie Canal Bicentennial. ECR 73.
We hope to get as many as we can in there on Thursday night. It proves to be a very, very nice presentation, and like the announcement said, it covers a lot. So we're hoping to fill up our East Coast Reflector Zoom room at I think it's at 8 o'clock. I'm pretty sure it's at 8 o'clock. That's at 8 o'clock, isn't it? I'm not sure whether it's 7 or 8 now. I thought it was 8 o'clock, but come at 7 and party till 8, I guess, on the East Coast with us. Thank you, Kevin. This is WB2JPQ.
Very good, Dick. I enjoy jumping in the Zoom room and watching you and AI argue about which time it is, but thanks for checking in, Dick. Any other EC team members that would like to check in, please come now. Alright, with nothing heard, I'll move on to silent keys. We do know that ECR passed away. They may have done that last week. Around, if anybody else has another silent key, please come now. Alright, nothing heard, and a couple confirmations I know you guys talked about. Harold last week. I enjoyed talking to him over the years, so he will be missed. And confirmation on the POTA Zoom room presentation, that is at 7 p.m. East Coast time. Joe confirmed that for us. So we'll move on to the new user portion of the net. You may have been on the Reflector before, you may have been on another net before, but if you have never checked into the Tech Net, this is your chance to get up front. New users to the Tech Net only, please call.
Is N6ATR, November 6, Alpha Tango Romeo, AT, Southeast Houston. Is J5IZ, Kilo Juliet 5, India Uniform. Zulu, Scott, in Santa Fe, Texas.
I recognize Arthur in Houston, Texas, N6ATR. Scott, we'll have to ask you to stick around for the 5s. You'll be the second group up in general check-ins. Looks like you have checked into the Tech Net before, so stand by if you don't mind. Arthur, Houston, Texas, N6ATR. Arthur, introduce yourself and answer tonight's question. Do you have a VHF UHF base station with an outdoor antenna?
Yes, sir. N6ATR. Arthur Ross. I'm a retired Houston firefighter. I just got my license about a month ago. No, about 3 weeks ago. And already studying for my general ticket. I'm actually using a little mobile unit in my garage, out on a cookie sheet.
Yeah, very good, Arthur. Well, thank you for checking in. Congratulations on the license, and you're sounding good into the system. And fast, you've already got a Vandy call sign. What was the 2x3 that was issued to you originally, Arthur?
The original call sign was KJ5LDU, Kilo Juliet 5, Lima Delta Uniform.
Yeah, very good, Arthur. Well, thank you for checking in, and hope to hear you again on the system soon. This is Kilo Echo 7 Kilo, your net control station for the East Coast Reflector Tech Net. We are currently taking check-ins from users new to the Tech Net. May have been on the system before, may have checked into another net before, but if you've never checked into the Tech Net before, please come now. I'm generally for the lazy for the most part, and I'm not going to stop at new user. E7K standing by for any users new to the Tech Net. Please come now.
Kilo X-ray 7, Charlie Oscar Mike, KX7, COM. 4DGP, Kilo Echo 4, Delta Golf Papa.
KE7K, let me recognize Justin in Sandy, Oregon, KX7COM. Definitely got you queued up. Dwayne in Millers Creek, North Carolina, we'll have to ask you to stand by. KE4DGP, we've got you as checking in to the Tech Net before. And Jason, KR4EBT, was on Echo Link, and I see he came back. Jason, you've got quite a bit of packet loss. If you've got a second, go to eastcoastreflector.com, and when I come back to you in just a minute, you can hear how you're making it. Sounds like you might not have a good connection to the internet there, but I'll let you get that dialed up, eastcoastreflector.com. Jason, under the Listen Live tab. I'll come back to you in just a minute. And that was probably a smidge confusing. Justin, KX4COM, good evening. Welcome to the Tech Net.
Correction, it's Kilo X-ray 7, Charlie Oscar Mike, KX7, COM. Yeah, and I think the question is, do you have a base station? I have a UHF, well, it's actually a little Yates 2817, and it has, it can do UHF, VHF, as well as AHF, and I have an antenna that works pretty well for everything but UHF, and I have to the front for that. So, KX7COM, Justin out of Sandy.
Very good, Justin. Call sign, we had it correct in the log. Kilo X-ray 7, Charlie Oscar, thanks for checking in. Jason, KR4EBT, I see you back on the Echo Link conference. Go ahead. Do you have a VHF, UHF base station with an outdoor antenna?
I do not. I have a handheld, the VTech. I'm really newbie, like I passed my test last week, and I'm just trying to learn and play around with a lot of this stuff. The Echo Link that I'm currently using is the app on my phone. I was on my computer. I was trying to see if maybe the iPods, would be better as far as using the mic and not having to hold my phone, just to try something different. But it didn't work. That's why I'm back on my phone now. I just, like I said, I passed my test. I got my technician. I'm now studying for my general. And once I get my general, I will eventually upgrade to a base. Back to the net.
Well, congratulations on your license, Jason. You were completely copyable on that last transmission, so air quotes, we had a bad line last time, I guess. So Thank you for checking in, and again, congratulations on your license, and welcome to the East Coast Reflector. Speaking of the East Coast Reflector, the Tech Net is open for any users new to this net. Please come now.
Hello, Romeo 4. India. Hello, Romeo 4, Alpha Hotel Whiskey, Orlando, Florida. I think you just for check-ins. I don't know. I just tuned in. Sorry.
All right, we'll work through this real quick. The station in Orlando, Florida. Could you come back with your full call, please?
Sorry if I just called out at the wrong time. I swore I just heard you say you were calling for check-ins. Maybe I was wrong, but this is Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Hotel Whiskey.
Yeah, good evening, Tennyson. Yeah, we were calling for check-ins, but we're looking for people that have not checked into this net before. Through that bridge. If you were not recognized and you're coming through means, please come now with your call sign.
Are you back? Kilo, Juliet, 5, Kilo, India, Romeo, KJ5KIR, Josh, Cottonwood, Texas.
All right, very good, Josh. We'll ask you to stand by as well. You've checked into the Tech Net before. This is KE7K, your net control station. We are looking for users to the East Coast Reflector Tech Net. You may have been on the Reflector before or been on another net before, but you've never checked into Tech Net. Please come now with your call sign.
Alpha Papa Charlie, Doug in Gladstone, Oregon.
K7APC, good evening, Doug. This is Kevin. I'm just up the street from you in southwest Portland. Good evening, Doug. K7APC, KE7K. Do you have a VHF, UHF base station with an outdoor antenna?
Roger that. I do have a 991A on a GP9, 25 feet up in the air. Back to you.
Thanks for checking in, Doug. The Tech Net is again open for any new to this net. Users new to this net only, please. Call signs twice.
Alpha 3, Alpha India, Kevin in Ontario.
The Victor Alpha 3 station in Ontario. Could you come back with your stuff?
Roger, the suffix is Alpha India India. Again, Alpha India India. The name is Kevin in Windsor, Ontario.
Good evening, Kevin. Well, as much as I like your name, you have checked in with the Tech Net before, so I'll have to ask you to stand by until we call for the threes during general check-ins. KU7K, I'll make a final call for any users new to the Tech Net. Users new to the Tech Net only, please.
Control. K4 GPS, Rich in South Carolina.
Good evening, Rich. K4 GPS, I bet that's a coveted call sign in general as far as 1x3s. Welcome to the net. We'll be sending you a welcome letter. Looks like you have an email address on QRZ. Rich, introduce yourself and answer tonight's question. Do you have a VHF UHF base station with an antenna?
Okay. Well, I'm located in York County. I've been a ham since about 78, but I've been inactive since 2007, 2006, 2007. Just getting active again at Rip Van Winkle, coming up to speed with a lot of stuff. And yeah, I kind of have a temporary outdoor antenna, dual band antenna with a tri-band mobile set up next to the couch, but I don't have an official ham shack per se. Don't really plan on it, but maybe someday in the future. Back to net, K4 GPS.
Thanks for checking in, Rich. All right, we'll move to the question portion of the Tech Net. If you have an amateur radio related technical question, please come now with your call sign.
For Foxtrot, Whiskey, November. Whiskey 4, Foxtrot, Whiskey, November.
Good evening, Dan. For FWN. Go ahead with your question.
Well, good evening to everyone on the net. Yeah, my question is, W4EMD Fusion is not running tonight, and I just wonder whether you might be able to get that back up. But Fusion is not on for tonight, so that's why I'm on Echo Link. Back to net control, this is W4FWN.
Heads up, Dan. We will email Paul and see if we can get him to reboot that and figure out what's going on. Any other stations with an amateur radio related technical question? Please come down with your call sign twice and slowly. Whiskey, Bravo 9.
ECR November 6, Alpha Tango Romeo.
Whiskey, Bravo 9. Charlie,
my question is, I don't know how simple it is. I'm in a neighborhood that doesn't have an HOA issue. I don't have an HOA issue. However, the way my home is situated, I can't use wires. Now, this is for HF. I can't use wires. So I'm going to have to go vertical. And my question is there a vertical antenna with a relatively small footprint that I can use to incorporate as many of the higher HF bands as possible. And I've got a pad and paper here, so I'll be writing down notes. And back to the net.
Recognize 2 stations with questions. Richard, WB9CSP. Got you, and N6ATR. Arthur, we heard part of your question. I'll ask you to stand by just for a second. Richard checked in just before you. WB9CSP. Go ahead with your question, Richard.
Yeah, roger. That's WB9CSP, Plant HS1. My question is, so I have a random piece of wire antenna connected directly to the center conductor of a short piece of coax. So, do I need a balloon or do I not need a balloon to run a in-fed antenna connected directly to a piece of coax? I do have a tuner with it though, and I also have a answer to the question. Go ahead.
C6 UFM.
Yeah, very good, Charles. I'll go ahead and pray for you. KC6 UFM, KE7K.
Thank you, Kevin. And before I get to Richard's answer there, I was just looking here a few minutes ago, and I know you've told me who you root for in the MLB, and I don't remember who it was, and I'm just hoping it's not the Rockies. But in any event, Richard, yeah, you're going to have trouble getting that to match to anything without some sort of a impedance matching transformer in there. Some people recommend 9-to-1. Some people recommend 49-to-1. There's nothing all over the place on that. My own experience, I have always built the antenna, measured what the impedance was, and then made the matching network to work with what the antenna actually is. But as far as the balun is concerned, no. That wire is unbalanced by nature, because you're either going to be using the coax shield or some buried counterpoise wire as far as the counterpoise, if you will, the ground plane. And so they are both unbalanced, the coax and the antenna. But you do not need any kind of a balun in there at all. But kind of look into the matching transformer, though. I mean, depending on the installation, you might get lucky and not need one. It just kind of varies, mostly dependent upon the surroundings of the antenna, its height, how many dog legs it has in it, that sort of thing. But your main question, no, you do not need a balun. Back over to you, Kevin, KC6 UFM.
All right, thank you very much, Charles. Richard, does that help your question?
The only other question I have about it is, so from the transmitter to the double barrel connector I have, since I didn't have enough coax, I'm using 5 ohm TV satellite coax to run to a 50 ohm little short line. Will that have any effect on it?
Yeah, go ahead, Charles.
Thank you, Kevin. It will, Richard. You can use other pieces of feed line with differing impedances. You can use those as a matching network. But if we just have a random piece of coax that all you know is nominal 75 ohms, and you're connecting into a system that has a nominal 50 ohm line, the outcome is unpredictable. If we had exact measurements, frequencies, and everything, we could figure that out for you. But just having something random like that, you're going to get random results. But it will definitely have an impact on it for you, Richard. Back to you, AC6 USM.
All right, very good, Charles. Thank you for the information. Richard, hope that was helpful. And Charles, to answer your question, I'm an Atlanta Braves fan. We are not as abysmal as the Rockies, although we did start the season 0-7, and we're currently 25-27. So we've done 25-20. 5 games over 500 since starting out on the wrong side of the fence. Arthur in Houston, Texas, in ATR. Please reiterate your question, Arthur.
Thank you. November 6th, Alpha Tango Romeo. The question is, right now I'm operating this mobile unit in my garage with a mag mount on a cookie sheet. And it's doing fine for 2 meter, and I'm okay with that. But I'm planning ahead for my next license for HF. My geographical location, I don't have an HOA issue. However, I don't have enough room to run wires. So my only other option is to go vertical. And again, my question is, what would be the best possible vertical antenna, as many of the bands as I can receive, and have a relatively small footprint? Back to the net.
AC6 UFM.
WB9CSP.
I recognize Charles and Richard, WB9CSP. Charles, go ahead.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, the Braves are doing a lot better than the Rockies. But AT, we, if you recall, you and I had talked about this the other night on the Reflector, and the thing kind of still applies. But if you're not able to do a wire, which that's really what I would recommend. But you only need if you've got 100 feet, anything 70 and 100 feet, you can go easily 40 through 6 meters. And if you've got a little bit more than that, call it 125 feet, you can do 50 through 6 meters in that space. But for a pure vertical, I hate to make any actual brand recommendations. You might want to consider something from MFJ has a number that are anywhere from 25 to 40 feet tall. They do have some protrusions that stick out, but you're only going to be looking at maybe 5 or 6 feet out from the vertical itself. You can also homebrew a 43-foot vertical that will give you 80 through 6 meters, and that is just a pole stuck up in the air with some wire buried up. It's all vertical antennas like that. Multibands are compromises to one degree or another. A lot of people like the DX Commanders. They work. They are an absolute pain in the neck to tune and adjust, but they do work when you get them set up. But as we talked about the other night, I would really recommend that you think about wire in more detail. because you don't need a huge amount of space to put up an end fed. If you're talking dipole or something like that, you want 160 meters, you're going to have something close to 300 feet long. But you go end fed, and with proper construction or buy the right one, you can get those up in 125 feet or less. So I would really recommend that you look at that. But if you have your heart vertical, a lot of the stuff from MSJ is no longer available because they're going belly up like a Walmart goldfish. But you can get them from some of the dealers, and then there are also other alternatives manufacturers that are doing that. And basically looking at something at least 25 feet tall and at most 40 feet tall, and you're going to have to bury probably 50 or 60 feet of wide per run under about 16 lines of that. So back over to you, Kevin, KC6 UFM.
Great, thank you for that explanation, Charles. I'm not sure I've ever heard belly up like a Walmart goldfish, but I'm going to add that to my vernacular post-haste. Arthur, did that help you? Do you have any follow-up questions? Nothing heard from the original poster there. Richard, you also had a comment. WCSP.
Yeah, Arthur is still there. I do Charles, but if he does have one, if he does want a vertical, a couple that I've been eyeballing myself would be the Chameleon Tactical Delta Loop. It looks too big for what I've seen. It's not a terrible amount of money. You can also mount it directly into the ground with a grounding stake. It comes with that, I believe, too. And then the other one that I recommend is the buddy pole. There's that, and then the one that I've used that has got to tune all the way to 40 meters, but you need a tune, and it's not very, very great, is a Antron 99, but that's 10 to 12 meter antenna, but you can get it to work on 40 with a tuner. So those are my recommendations for vertical. WB9 CSP stroke HS Tech Net.
Okay, yes, I'm still here, N6ATR. You said a Chameleon Tactical Loop, correct?
Yeah, it's called a Tactical Delta Loop, I believe. It's got 2 poles, and then it has a wire that attaches, like with clips, alligator clips on the top, and it's a Delta Loop antenna.
For that, and I'm not opposed to wires at all. I just didn't think that I had a large enough area to string wire. That's my preference. I'm going to have a gentleman come over on Thursday who's an engineer. He's on the frequency. Really, really sharp guy, and hopefully he can give me some ideas as to what I'll be actually looking physically at my situation. Back to the net.
Thank you for your question, Arthur, and good luck with your project. This AE7K, the East Coast Reflector Tech Net is still open for amateur radio-related technical questions. Please come now.
KD2, Papa Oscar.
Hi, good evening, Tony. KD2DPO. Go ahead with your question.
I do have outside antenna for dual receptor, and it's about, I would say, about 50 in a telescopic pipe, and I'm using this antenna, and it's pretty old now, and I see they got yes, engineering. It's round, and it must act like a beam. I wonder if that would help me. I used to get Erie, now I don't get Erie PA anymore. Back here. Welcome to the...
Thanks for checking in, Tony. Any comments about the DX engineering? I think it's a discone beam antenna that Tony's asking about. Please come now.
KC6 UFM.
Go ahead, Charles.
Thank you, Kevin. Honestly, Tony, you're going to do better with a multi-band vertical, something like a Comet GP series or the equivalent Diamond series, which for some reason I'm sitting here drawing an absolute blank on the model numbers of those. But those phased vertical arrays, co-linear, and they give you some pretty decent gain by pulling your signal down onto the horizon, and they end up having significantly more gain than the DXE so-called discone beam. So unless you're using the discone that you have for everything from 6 meters to 23 centimeters, you're not going to gain anything with that. No pun intended. You would be, if you're talking just mostly for 2 meters and 70 meters, you're going to be better off getting a GP series or the Diamond equivalents that have 6 or 8 or 9 decibels gain and are omnidirectional. You're going to be better off both performance-wise and price-wise. Back over to you, KC6 UFM.
All right, thank you, Charles. Tony, any follow-up questions?
No, that's that fellow that talked to me. I think I will try a Diamond vertical there and see how much they want for that. So thanks for that. So KD2 DPO will be clear.
A4MMX comment.
Okay, go ahead with your comment, Craig. K4MMX, KE7K.
Evening, everyone. Let me get the question out of the way first, which is, yes, I do have an outside antenna in VHF, UHF. The antenna that I'm using, it's a Diamond CH-250 Bravo. It's 20 feet vertical, end-fed, basically doesn't really need much of a counterpoise. It works great, but kind of drops off above 12 meters as it approaches 10. But I think that's a tuning issue. I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know if they're still available or not.
Thank you for your comment, Craig. Final call for anybody with an amateur radio related technical question. Please come now.
Oh, 4 Alpha Charlie Bravo.
Hey, good evening, Terry. Go ahead with your question.
I usually use a off-center fed dipole for my HF work, and it's 130-some feet long and got a 6-to-1 balance. Unfortunately, it's not resonant on 15 meters. Well, I usually use something else on 15 meters. A dipole, a bazooka. My bazooka's tore up, and I'm just wondering if somebody could give me some pointers on what would be best. I kind of like a little directivity towards the west. I don't do very well with Asia, and I'd kind of like a 15-meter dipole to be pointed that way somehow. But any advice you got, I'm bit of it.
KC6 UFM.
Charles, I never know whether to call on you directly key up or give you a second to key up, but pick it up regardless. KC6 UFM, KZ7K.
No worries. As long as you don't call me late for dinner. I see that he put us up a Walmart goldfish there on the log sheet. So that's nice. Anyway, Terry, since you're going with an antenna specifically for 15 meters, I would be very tempted just to put up a simple dipole, maybe even since we're talking 15 meters, maybe instead of going half wave, go with a full wave. A little bit more directivity and a little bit of gain there, but if you're just going to do a dedicated monoband antenna, that's what I would go with, and unless you want to consider going with a beam. Of course, then you've got all the related stuff, the rotator and all of that crazy stuff that you'd have to go with as well. But for a monoband, it everything in the world for you. But I'm surprised though that your OCF dipole is not able to do 15. That's weird. Might want to dig out the manual for that particular dipole, unless it's one that you built. See if maybe there might be something wrong with it that you can fix and get on 15 meters that way. Back over to you, Kevin. Casey, USM.
Thank you, Charles. Terry, any follow-up questions?
You really hit on something that I hadn't actually thought of, was doing a full wave. That might be what I'll try to do. I think I've got room for it. The problem with the FD4 is the 6-to-1 balance provides resonance on everything but 15. And seems like there's one other band, but it's not a band that I normally work anyway, but it's it will tune on 15, but it becomes a bit of a compromise because it isn't very resonant. I do have a portal fit dipole that I could try, but I really like that idea of the full wave on 15 meters. And you say there may be some directionality that I can get from that?
Go ahead, Charles. Okay. Yeah, this is KC6UFM. You can full wave dipole instead of a half wave. Basically you're just going to have a half wave wire on each side of the center. And that will definitely give you a little bit stronger, I'm not sure stronger is the right word, but a little bit better, shall we say, a pattern, a little more directivity, and it will be a little deader off of the M than a half-wave dipole. Another little trick you can try there, Terry, if you have an antenna analyzer or if you have a nano VNA, and especially if you have experience with antenna modeling software like EasyNet or one of those, you can model that dipole, just a full wave wire, adjusted velocity factor, model that wire, and then you can move the feed point back and forth from the center, and you will find a spot somewhere in there that will give you a very, very nice match. It's 50 ohms, but you could probably get a match to 100 or 150 or 200 ohms, and then just use a simple coax type matching section and a Q section to get into that, and that would give you a very nice match. And again, like I say, when we're talking about a model band antenna here, something that you're not going to want to run from the spectrum to the other, is really a whole lot of possibilities for things that you can do. Back over to you, Kevin, KC6UFM.
Thank you very much, Charles. Sounds like a good explanation. All right, I'm going to close up the question portion this evening and pass it up to Kevin, VE3BZ, just north of the border, for tonight's swap and shop. Go ahead, Kev. VE3BZ, KE7K.
Thank you, Kevin. Good evening, everyone. This is Kevin, VE3BZ, with tonight's swap and shop portion of the net. I only have one listing tonight, with two parts, I guess, from John, VE3MPH in Windsor, Ontario. He has two lots of items for sale. The first lot is from an estate sale from a friend of his, and the items are actually in Detroit, Michigan, and they will ship from there, and all prices will be in U.S. funds. And there's too many items to list here on the net, but you can contact John for details. Also, if you subscribe to groups.io or our newsletter, there are links to follow there. And he also has another lot of items that are from his personal stash. Same thing, too many to list here tonight. And these items are located in Windsor, in Canada, and will ship from there, and prices will be in Canadian funds. And there's links to those ones as well. To contact John by email, just send him a note at ve3mph@yahoo.com, and you can get all of the details from him. That is all I have tonight, short and sweet. If you have anything for sale, trade, just go to eastcoastreflector.com, contact ECR and SwapNet submissions, or email me at ve3bz rogers.com. And I guess tonight's question, yes, I do. Thanks, Kev. Back to you, E3BZ.
Yeah, very good, Kevin. And I also have a VHF UHF base station with an outdoor antenna. All right, that wraps up my portion of the net this evening. I'll pass it to my birthday buddy in crime, Dick, WB2JPQ, and he'll take you through the first portion of tonight's general check-ins. Dick, over to you, KE7K.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Good evening, everyone. Having a little issue with my voice, so hopefully things will hold out tonight. Kind of bear with me if you can. I'll work a few of these call districts or stations until Scott tells me to stop, and then he's going to take the latter part and the late. And we're going to start with 4s. So if you have a 4 in your call sign, you've already got Les, KK4SCD, and Gil, K4GDX, GDS, via the text line. Who else do I have with a 4 in their call sign? Control, this is Kilo Echo 4, Zulu Yankee Quebec, KE4, ZYQ, Joe and Clinton Township, Michigan. This is K4KU, Kilo 4, Kilo Uniform. This is Kilo Yankee 4, November Bravo, KY4 in base, Memphis. Steve? This is 9Y4DX. 9 Yankee 4, Delta X-ray, Richmond. Kilo Quebec 4, Golf Whiskey Oscar. Kilo Quebec 4, Golf Whiskey Oscar. William around Wake Forest, North Carolina. Whiskey 4, Foxtrot, Whiskey November. 4 Foxtrot, Whiskey November. E4 Alpha Whiskey India, Miami, Florida. Let me hold up there a minute. The last station, the Miami, Florida station, one more time, please. Whiskey 4 Alpha India, Miami, Florida. Ricky already had it. Well, we got W4FWN. Dan Paul is going to try to restart that node remotely for you. We didn't know it was down. We show it up, but it isn't, so thanks for letting us know. We got W4AWI. We got William, KQ4GWO. Our buddy Bertrand, 9Y4DX. Scott from Memphis, Tennessee. Chris from Parrish, Florida. We got Brian, Monticello, Kentucky. We got Joe from Clinton Township, Michigan. We got Gil from Orlando, and we got Les from Claremont. Who did we miss in number 4? If I did not recognize you, get in, and you're a 4, give us your call sign twice and slowly. Whiskey 4, Papa X-ray, W4, PPX. This is K4KU, Kilo 4, Kilo Uniform. Whiskey 4, Hotel Kilo Lima, W4HKL.
This is Kilo Romeo 4, Echo Bravo Tango, ECR4EBT, Jason in Tampa.
We got K4KU. I thought I heard you, Jason, in there before. We got Steve, Cumberland Gap, W4HKF. Hello to Ray, KI4RAY. And the Mayor of Hollywood, Florida, W4PPX. Anyone else in number 4? Anyone in number 4 that I did not recognize? Well, it's good. I don't think there's anybody left in 4 land. Good call up, no question about 4's not being on here tonight. Good evening to Les, KK4SCD. And Les, our question tonight, we're just trying to see how many people have a UHF VHF station and an outdoor antenna. Where you fit into the category.
With you again? I've got the base station here. However, I live in a community homeowners restriction. My antenna is sitting in the attic, plenty high in the attic, so I'm in good shape here in Claremont. So 75 degrees here in Claremont. Hey, good talking to you. KK4 SED back to net.
Been a while, Les. Stay well, my friend. Gil in Orlando, K4GDS. Good evening, Gil. Still with me tonight, Gil? K4GDS. Heard from Joe. We'll move on to Joe, Clinton Township, Michigan. K4ZYQ. Good evening, Joe.
KE4ZYQ, good evening to Net Control and all on the net. Not much to talk about other than looking forward to the warmer weather here in Michigan as opposed to the cool 50s and 40s and 60s. We did have 70 lately, a few days here and there around the holiday and all, but hopefully going to get some mid-70s to maybe 80 come the next week here, within the next week. So great net all the time, a great connection, great repeater. I just want to say thanks to all, Net Control and all involved. KE4ZYQ, back to net.
Joe, nice to hear you tonight. Hey, Brian, Monticello, Kentucky, AC4BR. Good evening. I gotta go back, Joe. We didn't get, before I go to Brian, Joe, we didn't get your answer to our question tonight. Do you have an outside antenna on your, do you have a VHF, UHF base station with an outside antenna?
That's interesting. This is KE4ZYQ back. Interesting you add that because I operate in a condo with an HOA, so I have to have an inside antenna, and I have a Comet GP3 in the attic, which is the first 514 condo with an attic above, so I'm operating with that. And luckily I don't have bad roofing or siding, aluminum siding or anything, so I lucked out. It was the luck of the draw. When I bought the condo, that I was going to put ham radio antenna anywhere, let alone new ham radio at the time, but I lucked out in where I picked by accident. So back to that, great question, KE4ZYQ.
Joe, well, Vicky makes the final decision because she's the logger and she puts you in as a yes, so she's considering attic antenna. A-OK tonight. Thank you for being there, Joe. Brian, Monticello, Kentucky, AC4BR.
Good evening, Dick, and everybody on the net. No, I do not currently have an external antenna. Currently using my phone with repeater phone, I think the app is, and then unfortunately my HT gets the repeater here for what I need right now, but I live in an apartment, so that's maybe a little tricky to do, but I'm planning on attempting something like that later this year. But anyway, nothing for now. This is AT4BR. I'll turn it back to you.
Right, so you know that Monticello repeater still, the announcements are coming out the wrong port. They never got that fixed. Chris in Parish, Florida, KQ4GLY. Good evening to you, Chris. And what about you? Do you have a base station and an outside antenna?
Everyone on the net. Currently, no, I'm in an HOA, so I can't put an outside antenna up.
No for Chris. Thanks for being here, Chris. Our buddy from Memphis, Tennessee, KY4NB. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Godfather. Brother Randall from Spring, Texas, if he's listening. The short and simple answer is yes on the base station and the antenna. And if you lose your voice, Godfather, all you have to do is a thumbs up or thumbs down. Back to net. Thanks for doing it. Thanks to Miss Vicky tonight, KY4NB.
There's plenty in here to help me out, Scott. We'll see you in the morning. I got the open tomorrow, so be on the first shift and we'll talk then. Our buddy Bertrand, Trinidad and Tobago, 9Y4DX. Good evening, Bertrand.
Well, it's a pleasure of mine, Dick. WB to you for this evening. Nice talking with you again after such a long time. Hope you're doing well. And let me extend as well to all the stations on the net this evening, the East Coast Reflector Tech Net. Hope everyone is also doing well this evening. Well, Trinidad and Tobago, today we had mixed weather. It was quite overcast. We are still having some Sahara dust affecting us here in Trinidad and Tobago. With respect to the question at hand, yes, I have a 2-meter rig, a VHF rig on the inside with coax cable running to an antenna fixed to the side of my home. So that's an outside antenna. So that's it for me. Back to control, WB2JPQ Dick. This is 9Y4DX.
Thank you, Bertrand. I was just making some notes here so I don't forget. Next week is net number 624. With a little bit of simple math, comes out 12 years. So next week, Tuesday is our 12th anniversary. East Coast Reflector Tech Net. We've never missed a Tuesday. I'm pretty proud of that. I have a few. When I had my lung cancer, I was off for a few weeks, and also for my open heart. But other than that, I pretty much have been here. And so we're going to maybe do something special next week. I decided yet. We'll see what everybody comes up with. Let's go to Wake Forest, North Carolina. Good evening, AQ4GWO.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you, Net Control. Thank you, everybody on the net. I hope everybody is doing well. My situation, I got an HOA, so basically I do have a couple of antennas outside under the bush for all X purposes. When it comes to TXing, I use my HT or my Treehouse mobile. And that's basically it. Once again, Net Control, take care of me, God bless. This is Kilo Quebec 4, Golf Whiskey Oscar, William, around Wake Forest, North Carolina, 73s.
Vicky says that qualifies, so we got you down for a yes, William. Thank you. Durrell, Florida. I haven't talked to anybody in Durrell for quite a couple of years. W4AWI, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Matt. This is W4AWI, Miami. I'm running a GP9 outside. The base of it is up and an IC7000. So we do have a system running, and I'm glad to hear the Nat. I'll get on here as much as I can. Back to you, Nat.
All right, thanks for being there. Let's go to Dan in Sanford, Florida. And Dan, you'll have to tell us whether that's on or not. The server was rebooted. We show a connection. It was an alarm. That was the strange part. W4FWN, Dan. You'll have to tell us whether that's working or not.
Well, good evening, Dick, and everyone else on the net. This is WWN. No, it's not working right at the present time, at least coming through my hotspot, and I guess I don't think I have a problem on this end. But anyway, very thankful for EchoLink. Answer to tonight's question, yes, I do have an outside antenna. However, I don't know what qualifies as a base station. Got my Alexa talking to me. I don't know what qualifies as a base station. I use my HT running to an amplifier if I need it, but most of the time I have it turned off. It's my HT to a GP3. Comet GP3 outside at about 15 feet. I was able to sneak that in and pass the HOA. Back to Net Control. This is W4FWN.
Right, Dan. And if it does come on, jump in here and let us know. We have no way of telling. We show it connected. The All-Star node is connected, and that's what we monitor. So if that server goes down, they just rebooted it. Let's go to Ray, KI4RAY. Good evening, Ray. And this is Dick, WB2JPQ at the East Coast Reflector Tech Net.
Good evening, Dick, and everyone else on the net. This is 4 Romeo Alpha Yankee Ray from Charlotte, Tennessee, a small town about 38 miles northwest of Knox. Yes, I do have an outside antenna. I live out in the country, about 8 miles from the main road. I have a base pole that's about 16 above the ground, and I'm talking to you on it right now through a local receiver that's connected. Dual banded slash CMR mobile that I use base station. Back to that.
Right, Ray, we'll give you credit for that. Oh, he skipped over Don here. I don't know how he did that. W4PPX, Don. If you're watching the log, my apologies. If you're not watching the log, I should have kept my mouth shut.
Probably should have kept your mouth shut. This is W4PPX. Not watching the log. I'm running a ICOM 2730 dual bander in the house and hooked to a homemade copper J pole that I got complaints about probably 10 years ago, 4 years ago. Painted it flat black and hung a flag on it ever since.
Everybody has a great evening. Back to you, Dick. I'll never forget what Jim always said when the HOA people came around and he had his collinear up somewhere on the rusty pole that was an enhancement to his burglar alarm system and got away with it for many, many years. Good evening to Steve, W4HKL in Cumberland Gap. Good evening, everyone on the net. Yeah, I have a base set up here. I have several monobanders run into a triplexer, into a diamond tri-band antenna. Of course, I'm down in the Cumberland Gap, so there's only so much I can do when you're surrounded on all sides by mountains and ridges, but if I manage to get out, I can get to local machines, occasionally hit one of the Knoxville machines. But anyway, have a good one, and hope you get to feeling better. I know I've got the allergies myself, so I know all about the voice and everything. W4HK. I've had to creep and crud for a week, and of course today I went out and mowed lawn, and that's what's going on tonight. We'll get better. Thanks, Steve. Riverview, Florida, KR4EBT. Oh, I got two Jasons in a row here. Good evening. KR4EBT, Jason in Riverview, Florida. Are you still with me?
I am here. Go ahead.
Good evening, Jason. I want to know if you have a UHF or VHF base station with an outdoor antenna on it. Good evening.
No, I am a really newbie. Like, I passed my test last week on Saturday, and I'm just learning right now about everything. The only thing I got was a VTech 6X Pro handheld, and I bought some stuff, some antennas, some signal stuff, and a mobile antenna so I can take it in the car. But no outdoor antenna yet, you know, since I'm a newbie. So back to you.
Well, thank you. Vicki had already put no in, and I'm thinking, how does she know that? And then I remembered as she reminded me that you were already on and had made that comment that you were very, very new. Atlanta, K4KU. Good evening, Jason.
Good evening, Dick, and everybody on the Tech Net. From rainy and kind of cool Atlanta, it's about 61 degrees. I do have a base station, but my antenna is indoors. I have a mag loop and a dipole hung in the window because I'm in a condo with an HOA, and that's the best I can do for now. Anyway, hope you'll join us tomorrow night on the Tech Net. On the Open Mic Net. The Open Mic Net tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We'd love to see you. Anyway, back to net control. Have a good night, Dick.
Right. Vicki gave you a thumbs down, just so you know. Thank you for being there. Let's move on to the fifth. Stations with a 5 in their call sign. This is WB2JPQ. Well, that we don't have any 5s with us tonight. 300, 400 connections on here. Stations with a 5 in your call sign. Twice and slowly. Well, as Kevin would say, it's a 5. It's between 4 and a 6. I cannot believe that we do not have people with a 5 in their call sign with us tonight. Well, that was somebody on IRLP note 3412 without any audio. Last call for stations with a 5 in your call sign, number 5. Kilo India 5, Kilo India. Kilo India 5, Kilo India. Well, it looks like KI5KKI is representing the entire 5th call district. Good evening to you. Good evening. For the question, yes, I'm running I don't remember which diamond antenna, but I'm running a diamond vertical, 17 foot, 2 meter, 70 centimeter, antenna, running that with a power supply to a mobile radio, for 2 meters. I hope that answers the question for tonight. It sure does, and that gives you a yes in the answer box. And Bill from Hobbs, New Mexico just texted in. He knew I was feeling bad about the KI5 PMI. Good evening, Bill.
Good evening, Big. Everybody on the net. Yeah, number 5 didn't make much of a showing tonight, did we? Yes, I do have a radio and outside antenna. Hope everybody has a good evening. KI5 PMI, back to net.
Well, thanks for helping me out tonight, Bill. Appreciate it. We already got the 6s. I got Charles in Guatai, and I got Mike in Valley Springs, California. Stations with a 6 in your call sign, number 6. Your call sign twice, please. This is Dick, WB2JPQ.
Kilo India 6 Whiskey Papa Kilo, KI6WPK.
Kilo November 6, Golf Sierra Golf. Kilo November 6, Golf Sierra Golf. Alpha X-ray KM7AXE. Hey, got Barry in Moss Beach, California, KN6GSG. Our friend Bill from San Francisco, KI6WPK. Bill, nice to hear you tonight. Anyone else? And I also got Mike and Charles in here, of course. Anybody else with a 6 in their call sign? November 6, Quebec Delta Yankee, and 6QDY. My friend David from Sacramento, and 6QDY. And Dan, I want you to try to reconnect again to that server. They're telling me that they are hearing me talk, so I'm not sure what's going on. But Dan, if you would, jump in and let us know if it's if it's working. Let me go up to Charles, Guatai, California, KC6UFM. Good evening, Charles.
Good evening, Dick. This is Charles, KC6UFM in beautiful downtown Guatai, California. My goodness, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people from all from California. The 6th, so the left coast is well organized and represented. But many thanks to you, Dick, and to Kevin coming up soon, Scott herding the cats, and Vicky keeping everything in line and working smoothly. But yeah, we, as far as the question is concerned, yes, that's, but you'd have to make everything plural, because I have multiple VHF UHF antennas and multiple VHF UHF radios. So otherwise, that's all a good thing. And my goodness, we did have a lot of good questions on the antennas tonight. And I was thinking that we were going through that big long list of 4-land stations, and thinking, okay, here in just another week or so, we're going to be coming into hurricane season. Have to keep everybody there on the Atlantic coast and the Gulf Coast in our thoughts, and particularly Bertrand down there in Trinidad and Tobago. He's kind of right in the barrel of the shotgun, it seems to me. But hopefully it won't be too much of a bad season, and hopefully all the preparations they made will be for nothing. So let me pass it back over to you, Dick. 3, everyone. Have a great week. This is KC6 UFM. Back to that control.
Whiskey 4 Foxtrot, Whiskey November.
Mike, Valley Springs. Haven't talked to you for a while. Trust all as well. K6AAN.
Dick, yeah, it's been a while. Hope it's good for you also. We're doing fine out here. It's just getting warm. This part of California hit 90 degrees today. Anyway, answer to the question is yes. Comet GP9 at 53 feet. It gets a lot of use. So back to you, Dick. Good day. This is K6AAN. Whiskey 4 Fox, Whiskey November.
Made a double with somebody. I saw one of the bridges come up. Bill in San Francisco, KI6WPK. Good evening, Bill.
Well, hi, Dick. It's always good to hear your friendly voice. Yeah, I'm listening to the net and making some chicken noodle soup. And yes, I bought the ARRL in-bed antenna kit, but I've yet to build it. And I want to hook it up to my classic TS950 transceiver if I were to get around to building it. Anyway, that's all for me. Enjoyment. KI6WPK.
Thank you, Bill. Vicky got you down for a yes. And Dan, I'm sorry. I guess I didn't hear you. Vicky's hearing you. I don't know whether I saw you come up on a monitor. I didn't hear any audio. Maybe you were just that quick. W4FWN. Here comes.
Yeah, this is Whiskey 4 Foxtrot, Whiskey November. Somehow or another, my hotspot had reset itself to not have a YSF room. And also, my YSF comes up for the ECR as 73488. Different than what I had, so maybe that's the reason why it dropped it. Back to net control, this is W4FWN.
Hey, I can't tell you that. I don't know why that is, Dan. But it's working. Well, that's good. We'll let them know. Thank you. Hi, Barry. Moss Beach, California. KN6GS. Good evening to you. And our question tonight, for those of you that are just tuning in, we're trying to find out how many of our users actually have a VHF, UHF base station with an outdoor antenna. Good evening, Barry.
Well, good evening to you, Dick, and the rest of the net. This is Barry, KN6GS. No, I actually have two locations with two UHF, VHF base stations, but both of them are using an indoor J-pole, an arrow J-pole, and I can reach 40 or more miles with it. So I don't need an outside antenna. So thanks for letting me check in. Thanks for being here, Dick. Back to the net.
Barry, gotta say hello to our friend Brian, VK3KEZ. He just came into the Zoom room and said he's got his earphones on. He's giving me a thumbs up, so, man, I'm making it all the way to Australia tonight. David, Sacramento, California is up next. Good evening, David. N6QDY.
Hello there, Dick. Good evening to you, Vicky, and the net, and everybody in the Zoom room. To answer your question, yep, thanks for doing what you guys are doing. Appreciate it. Back to net control, N6QDY.
Thanks, David. I guess I didn't even get a chance to say hello today in the Zoom room. I think he left this morning. And all right, let's go on. Where am I going? Number 7. Stations with a 7 in your call sign. You're up. This is Dick, WB to JPQ. Call signs twice. KK7 OG, KK7 OGC.
Kilo Juliet 7, Romeo Victor Bravo, KJ7, RVB.
To Ray, KJ7 RVB. Pedrino. And I saw IRLP note 7294 come up. Was that a 7 that was trying?
It shouldn't be from me. I'm, mine's what, 63940. Anyway, I only have one node.
I'm looking for the station on IRLP 7294. Were you trying to check in IRLP 7294?
What's up? This is W6ALB, Andrew, Tucson, Arizona, on IRLP 7294. Yes, sir. Just checking in. Well, just monitoring. Just connected and monitoring.
All right, Andrew. We just did the 6s, but maybe you missed your turn there. You just a little in here. Why don't you go ahead? W6ALB, Andrew in Tucson, Arizona. Our question tonight is, do you have a UHF, VHF base station with an outside antenna?
Okay, all right. Let's see. As far as that goes, I used to have similar from antenna for the UHF. Use the Ringo Ranger 4-element cubicle quad with a. Now, currently, right now, I'm just using an ID5100 with the quarter-wave spike on top of the
refrigerator in the garage right now. I mostly converted over to HF, so I use ICOM 706 with the infed wire up there. 49 to 1 undone balun up there. Works pretty good. Just a wire. Thanks for letting me get in here, W6LB.
Andrew. How about Fred in Reno, KK70GC?
Hi, yeah, sorry, misunderstood your question. Anyway, yes, as of January, I have 2 Comet CX333s sitting on my roof for my 2 base stations. Anyway, thank you for running the net, and thank you, Vic. KK70GC, back to net.
Those were outside the antennas, right? Right, Fred?
That is correct. One's on a drain pipe, other one's on 1.5 inch galvanized pipe out in my back yard. It's a tree. So the answer is yes, times 2.
There you go. Thanks, Fred. How about Ray? KJ7RVB. Good evening, Ray. What do you got for a UHF, VHF setup?
Evening, driver. It's Ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Romeo Victor Bravo, Cody, Wyoming. Yeah, I got a Tram 1981 big stick up on the roof, fed by LMR 400. Works great. I got fantastic SWRs. Running this setup for about 10 years. KJ7RVB.
Thank you, Ray. Got you down for yes. I'm going to do the 8 picture stations with an 8 in their call sign, and then I'm going to turn it over to, Scott. And I think somebody just came in the Zoom room. Please, while we're logging and running the net, we don't allow anybody to talk in the Zoom room, nor do we take check-ins in the Zoom room. Got Roy, K8BYU, via the text line, WCR, Unionville, Pennsylvania. What I had was an 8 in their call sign, number 8.
Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie.
Alpha Delta 8, Mike Juliet. D8MJ, Allen, in Northeast Ohio. Good evening to Warren, Warren, Ohio, to Alan there in Warren, Ohio, AD8MJ, and Bob in Sylvania. Vicki, put your call in before you even speak. I know you can't ever see the log, but if you could, even in the morning, Bob, you key up. I don't think you get a half a syllable out. She's already got your call sign in. Let's go up to Roy in Blaze, New York, K8BYU. Good evening, Roy. I haven't talked to you for a while.
Everybody on the segment? K8BYU. Well, I have a VHF UHF base station, but it's an indoor antenna. I have an Ed Fong antenna in the apartment. I live in a hut building, so can't put up anything outside and don't have a balcony.
I think he's going to give you a no, Roy. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being I don't think you ever miss a net Boy, nice to see people like yourself and many, many others. ECR, Unionville, Pennsylvania, W8CRW.
Good evening, all on the net. We are in Unionville, and multiple stations and multiple antennas. The main being a Icon 9700 with a Comet GP6, and that's the main one I use, but I have several more different places on the property. 73 to all. Back to net.
All right, thank you, CJ. And Bob, WD8PIC. Good evening.
Good evening, and thank you, Vicki, for putting the call sign in early. I think I was the one you were talking about. Anyway, yes. Planned into the construction when my parents moved here in '03. Built right into the building itself, so someplace before the antennas do. And then there was a diagram made of where all the braces were in the construction, so that there's two separate mounts, and I've got a 17-footer on one, a diamond, and you are hearing a two-section diamond. Now, I'm using the longer one right now for scanner listening, but I also use it for, I like to do a lot of simplex, and these antennas are nice. A rotor can't fail, nothing mechanical can fail. I just know that, well, look me up on QRZ sometime, and because there's pictures. But I wanted it to where it was the least amount of maintenance, but yet it would do the most good. I use it for the most amount of radiation, if you get what I'm saying. The homeowners association, the builder was friendly and everything, so yes, I know how blessed I am. By the way, back to you, it was cloudy all day today, and there's a 50% chance of rain for later on tonight and tomorrow. Go ahead.
Bob, get you down for a yes. I know you said that on the morning brew a few times to get a nice installation there. And last for me tonight is Alan from Warren, Ohio, AD8MJ. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Greetings to you there, Dick, AD8MJ. It's been a while since we've talked. Sure nice to talk with you again. The answer to the question is yes and no. I have a Yaesu 991A and a Diamond 510 17-footer, but they're not currently connected. So for now, I'm doing the mobile base with a Diamond Super Gainer mag mount on a metal tray. So that's it for me. 7-3 everybody, and until next time there, Dick, back to you. WB2JPQ from AD8MJ.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you in the morning. Over to you, Scott. Thank you, Vicky, for logging. W2BLT. This is WB2JP.
Thank you, Dick. Scott, W2BLT. And I'll be your host for the rest of the net here. We're going to take a call districts 90123 in that order, and then we'll hit the mist for those that were late to the party. Let's see, let's start with the nines. If you have a 9 in your call sign, please come now. Kilo 9, Hotel Mike, K9 Ham. recognizing KK9, HAM, Albany, Washington, and W9, EBB, Don in Ocala, Florida. Next. Who else do we have with a 9 in your call sign? Last call for the 9s. Alrighty, I want to acknowledge WB9 CSP, Richard in Paris, Texas as well. He's top of the list, so let's go up to WB9 CSP, Richard in Paris, Texas. Good evening, and we have a VHF UHF base station with an outdoor antenna. WB9 CSP, are you still with me? Moving right along. W9 EBB, Don in Ocala, Florida. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, sir, for running the net, and thank you for logging. Today in Ocala, Florida, the real fuel is about 102, and so it's a nice cool 80 degrees right now. Yes, I do. I have an X30A, 14 feet in the air, and it does a wonderful job. Have a blessed night, everyone. 73. See you in the morning.
Alrighty, thank you, Don. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and thanks for stopping by tonight. Let's go to KK9 HAM, Albany in Pasco, Washington. Haven't talked to you for a while. Good evening.
Good evening, Scott. Good evening, Vicky, and everybody else on the net. I'm just the occasional checker inner here, and to answer your question, technically I do have a base station with the flip of 2 switches. I can have it on my outside antenna. However, most of my 2-meter 440 activity is done via radio, and they're equally connected to an antenna switch, being switched around as I need or see fit, or as I want, or as I want to get into myself into trouble. KK9M, thank you very much, Scott.
Alrighty, Albin. Good to talk with you again, and you have yourself a fine evening. Alright, let's go to the zeros. Those of you with a 0 in your call sign, please come now.
W0SBH. Whiskey 0, Sierra Victor Hotel. Sean Anderson. 0 MSS. November 0, Mike Sierra Sierra.
Alrighty, recognizing 0 MSS and at W0 SBH. Sean. Anyone else with a 0? With nothing heard, let's take the 1s and we'll run them all together. If you have a 1 in your call sign, please come now.
KC1 QPL, KC1 QPL.
Alrighty, we got you, John. Let's go to the top of this list. 0SVH, Sean in Anderson, Texas. Good evening, and do you have a UHF VHF base station with an outdoor antenna?
Yeah, good evening, Scott, and everybody on the net. This is W0VH Sean in Anderson, Texas. Yes, I've got actually multiple antennas. I don't use them mostly because I have a 200-foot tower in my backyard with a 70 centimeter and a 2-meter repeater on it, so I can do most of my communication through the repeater network, even on the East Coast Reflector, using my handheld. But yes, I have a GP9 and a Cushcraft. The GP9 sits about 180 feet and about 165 feet. Both of them are dual band antennas I can use for besides talking on the repeaters. Back to you, net control.
Alrighty, thank you, Sean. 200 feet. Yeah, I only wish. Have a good evening. N0 MSS Ross up in Wabat, North Dakota. Good evening, Ross.
Yeah, good evening. Beautiful night here in Wapaton. Birds are outside chirping, and it was a nice night outside there. Now I'm in for the net. And answer to the question is yes. Multiple, actually. Top antenna on my tower currently is on a APRS node, running an iGate and a Digi. And then I have a couple beams below that, each hooked to a monoband ASU analog digital. And then I've got another mount antenna that's hooked to my All-Star node, and then I have one more hooked to my garage radio. Multiple VHF, UHF, as well as HF antennas out there. So, nice question. Back to you, N0 MSS.
Thank you, Ross. Appreciate you joining us, and have a great evening. I'll pray for them birds to stop chirping. Next up, KC1QPL, John up in South St. Paul, Minnesota. Good evening, John.
Well, good evening, Scott. Good evening, everyone. KC1QPL, thanks for having me. Thanks to Vicki on the log. To answer your question, I don't have a base station UHF PH. I have a mobile, and I have a J-pole up in the air about 15 feet, and that's the dual J-pole antenna, and that's what I got for UHF and PHF. Back to you, sir. You're sounding good. Thanks for having me. KC1 should be all clear.
Well, thank you, John, and that qualifies. You got a radio inside and an antenna outside, so put down for a yes. This is W2BLT. We're going to move on to news. Let me acknowledge the ones we have by text, and then we'll take new ones. We have KD2JPP, Bob, W2RBC, Randy, W2AJR, Andy, VK2DY, Robert, W2SAL, Sal, W2PNR, Stephen, and KD2VNU, Derby. Who else do we have with a 2 in your call sign? Please come now. UUS. Number 2, Zulu Victor November, and 2Z. N2BH, N2BH. Alrighty, recognizing N2BH Bill, N2ZVN Alan, and WA2 UUS Joel. Anyone else with a 2? Last call for the 2s. Please come now. W2KJV, W2KJV.
Already recognizing W2KJV Tony. Let's go to the top of this list. Question of the evening is, do you have a VHF UHF base station with an outdoor antenna? Let's go to KD2JPB, Bob in Gallatin, Tennessee. Good evening, Bob.
Hey, good evening, Scott, and everybody else on the net. Vicky is giving a thumbs up to in the attic, then the answer will be yes. If not, it's no. So my antenna's in the attic. Everybody have a good night, safe week, and send it back to net control.
Alrighty, thanks, Bob. And everything I own is in the attic, except my antennas. Have a good evening. Next up, one of the members here, Randy W2RBC. Good evening, Randy.
Good evening, Vicky and everyone on the Tech Net. Yes, I have two VHF base station radios. Both have Diamond X50A outside antennas. Back to net control, 73 W2RBC.
Well, thank you, Randy. You have yourself a great evening. W2AJR, Andy in Chickawaga, New York. Good evening.
Beyond the net. Yep, I have a couple of base station rigs, and I have one outside dual band antenna. 7-3, everybody. Have a great week. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Andy. Enjoy the rest of it. Let's go halfway around the world to VK2DY. Robert in Kellyville Ridge, New South Wales, Australia. Good afternoon, Robert.
Yes, we'll count that as a good afternoon. Robert, Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee at 11:59 a.m. Wednesday morning here. Anyway, it is about 17 degrees Celsius, about 63 Fahrenheit. We're not going to get better than that. It's we've got a cold front here right now. As far as VHF, UHF, no, nothing really. I do everything now with digital modes, and that doesn't require even a radio. But HF, yes, definitely HF. That's my VK2DY. Back to net.
Well, thank you, Robert. And if I talk long enough here to you, it will be a good afternoon, Robert. Thanks for this, and appreciate it. Next up, WSAL. Sal in Chickawaga as well. Good evening, Sal. I'm watching Sal adjust something up here, but I caught him with his shirt sleeves down or something. Good evening, Sal. But I'll come back to Sal in a couple of minutes. He's looked like he's having fun there. W2PNR, Stephen in East New York. Good evening. Well, you too, PNR.
Steven, are you still with? I guess not. That sense will take Derby Dan, KD2, VNU, who I know is with us. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, Scott. Good evening to everybody on the net tonight. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Yes, I have an outdoor antenna and a mobile radio as a base station connected to the power supply. Everybody have a good evening. 7 to 3 to all. 82 VNU.
Alrighty, thanks, Dan. Let's go back up the list here to Sal, see if he's got his situation worked out there. W2SAL. Good evening, Sal.
Yeah, ironic right there at 10 o'clock as you were calling me, our link dropped out of our Lancaster repeater to you guys, so I had to try and find another channel to get into. With that, yes, I do have a couple UHF, VHF antennas on the house and an HF. With that, I'll send it back to you, Scott. I'll catch you guys in the morning. W2SAL, back to net control.
Alrighty, Sal. Thanks for hanging in with us tonight there. Appreciate it. Next up, WA2 UUS, Joel, right here in Buffalo. Good evening.
Tonight, I don't have an outdoor VHF or UHF antenna for my base station. I have a Diamond X50A vertical in my attic. I wish everyone a nice week ahead. Be well and be safe, and thank you, Scott.
Alrighty, thanks for joining us, Joel. And the attic is close enough to the roof for me. Have a great day. Night, I mean. N2, ZVN, Allen and Kendall, New York. Good evening.
Well, good evening and good day. Scott, everyone on the net tonight. Yes, I have UHF, VHF all mode, and that's on the roof. It's a lot of fun working weak signal. N2 ZVN. Have a good night, everyone.
Alrighty, thank you, Alan. You have a good night as well. Next up, one of our team members and one of your hosts on the Morning Brew, Bill, N2BH from Palmyra, New York. Good morning, Bill, or good evening.
Good evening, Scott, Vicky, and everybody. I do have a dual band base set up, but my antenna's J-pole inside a second floor window, N2BH.
Alrighty, Bill. You have yourself a fine evening, and we'll talk to you again soon. W2KJV, Tony in Homosassa, Florida. Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, Scott, and everyone on the Tech Net tonight. Tony here in Homosassa. Scott, I have a mobile radio, UHF, VHF, and an outdoor antenna, but they're not connecting them to the antennas for other things at the moment. So when I get the antenna up, I'll probably connect it up as a base station.
Alrighty, sounds good, Tony. Appreciate you joining us and have a great evening. I want to go back up to this fella I missed. He's got it here. He would come in via the text. W2PNR, Stephen, East Morris, New York. Good evening.
Evening, Net Control. You picking me up now?
Absolutely, you sound great. Good evening, and do you have a UHF, VHF base station with an antenna?
I have a Yaesu FTM 500 something or other, and I have a Home Depot Tram antenna outside. Over. Stephen, and thanks for joining us, and appreciate stopping by tonight. All right, that leaves us with the threes and the late test. Let's take the threes first. If you have a 3 in your call sign, please come now.
Whiskey Baker 3, Golf Tango, Mike, WB3GTM.
Victor Echo 3, India, Quebec, uniform, VE3IQU.
Echo 3, Whiskey, Charlie, Whiskey.
Alrighty, let me recognize WB3GTM, Mike, VE3IQU, Reg, VE3WCW, Dan. Anyone else with a 3 in your call sign, please come now. No, with nothing heard. With nothing else heard, let's go to WB3GT. Mike in Westford, Vermont. Good evening, Mike. And the question of the evening, do you have a VHF base station with an outdoor antenna?
Good evening, Scott. Good evening, everybody on the net. Mike WBTM. Good to hear you, Scott. I have several different and for VHF combo and the A29 and I'm currently using an FTM 300D mobile radio as the base rig. And I have several different antenna options, but my antennas aren't optimally in the air at the moment since I took my tower down a couple years ago, the VHF UHF tower. But I do have like a Diamond 500. All my antennas are old, so the numbers are old, like the Diamond 500 gold band, or now they're like up to 510 or something higher, and high gain 2-meter vertical Ringo Ranger, and at the moment I think I'm using a disc cone. Sometimes depending on what radius I'm using, I do some antenna swapping. But anyhow, thanks for running the net. Thanks for checking me in. 7-3, I'm back to net control. WB3GTM.
Alrighty, Mike, you have yourself a great evening, and thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Let's go north of the border here for a bit. The VIQU, Reg, up in Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Good evening, Reg.
And a very good evening to you, Scott, and everybody around the net tonight. Interesting answer to some of the to your questions, that's for sure. Anyhow, the wife and I are fine, and things are going good here, aside from our television system needs substantial improvement, which is coming up in the next week, I hope, and get back on track there. In any case, as for your question of the night, I can answer the simple word yes. I've got ACU-FTM 300D, and that's being channeled into a Diamond X50 up about 20 feet. I'd like to get it a little bit higher, but I have to sneak it up because they go up much higher. Anyhow, back to you, and hope that takes good out there and everybody else. Have a great week, everybody. V3IQU.
Alrighty, thank you, Reg. Appreciate you joining us, and have a good week. We'll talk to you again soon. This is W2BLT. Next up, VE3WCW, Dan, up in tiny Ontario, Canada. Good evening.
Well, good evening, and to everyone on as well. Dan here, VE3WCW. I'm actually mobile. I'm running on the PM500, and I'm using the Diamond SBD5 antenna. But to answer your question as well, at the QTH, I'm using the same as Reg there. I'm actually not far from Brampton. I'm in currently, but at my home, I'm using the Diamond X50 as well, and like Reg and anybody else out there would always say, always get your antenna higher, you get it better. But I'm running that with the ICOM 5100, and it seems to work well. It's a nice dual bander, and I also have a 991A that I use on the side for HF, and it's all fun in radio land. So thanks for having me there, and appreciate it. Nothing else to report here from Ontario, and just want to say thanks for running the net. Free to you and all. Back to you, V3 WCW.
Alrighty, thank you, Dan. You have yourself a great evening. Alrighty, folks, it brings us to that time of the night where if you were late to the party or missed your call sign, now's your opportunity. Let me just acknowledge a couple that we have here by text line. We got WP4VW, Milton, N7WZI, Alan. We had KO4FRR, Joe, KE2GBD, Andrew, and KE2FZA, John in Buffalo, New York. Who else do we have who was late to the miss that wants to get in on the log tonight? Please come with your call sign twice.
This is Kilo Indio 5,
Hotel Lima Hotel.
I5WYC, Lucas Spring, and I'll be in and out. W2BW, Whiskey to Papa, Whiskey.
Victor Echo 3, Zulu Victor X-ray, that's CE3ZVX, 10 here in Scarborough, Ontario.
Kilo 6, Lima November, India, K6LNI, in and out.
K5 HLH, Kilowatt 5, Hotel Lima Hotel.
November 8, Kilo, Lima November. 5, Delta X-ray, Bravo, Kilo, Juliet 5, Delta X-ray, Bravo. Alpha,
Lima,
Bravo,
Yankee, Sierra, out of Pasadena, Texas.
Zulu Echo Romeo.
Alrighty, let's hold it up there for just a moment. Between double and then quick keying, we missed a few of them. Let me tell you who I do have. This last one was a KO4ZER or something like that. Could you come back with that call sign twice, please?
Roger, Kilo Oscar 4, Zulu Echo Romeo. Kilo Oscar 4, Zulu Echo Romeo.
Alrighty, we got Stephen, we got W4AB, Broward, we got KI4, KYS, Henry, KJ5DXB, Frank, K5, HLH, Harry, we got K6, LNI, Lancelot out in Hayward, California, was in and out tonight. We have a VE3ZVX, is that correct? Is this Timothy? That's correct, sir. It's Tim here in Scarborough, Ontario. Victor Echo 3, Zulu Victor. Alrighty, we'll be back to you shortly. We got W2PW Press. We got KE2FZA. I acknowledged him already. We had a KI5 station. KI5 station, come back with your call sign twice, please.
Kilo India India 5, Whiskey Yankee Charlie, KI5WYC, Lisbon Springs.
Alrighty, we got you, Luke. Is there anyone that I didn't acknowledge or anyone else that wants to get on a late and miss? This will be the last call for it. Please come now with your call sign twice, and it's not a race.
Zero Charlie Zero Bravo Bravo Foxtrot. Zero Charlie Zero Bravo Bravo Foxtrot.
Now, please.
Kilo Juliet 5, Lima Charlie Delta, Kilo Juliet 5, Lima Charlie Delta.
November 5, Lima Yankee Sierra. November 5, Lima Yankee Sierra, Pasadena, Texas. Alrighty, we're going to hold it up right there. We had KC0 BBF, Steve, KJ5 LCD Lewis, and N5 LYS Greg. There was a station in there and all we got was in and out. Please key your mic, wait about 2 seconds, and give me your call sign twice.
Quebec 4, Charlie Alpha Bravo. Kilo Quebec 4, Charlie Alpha Bravo. In and out, please.
Alright, we got you that time, Jay. You're in and out, and thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Let's go to the top of this list. This is the last list for the night, looks like. Let's go to my buddy Milton, WP4VW. Good evening, Milton, somewheres near Houston, Texas.
Good evening, senor. Good to hear from you and everybody listening to WP4 Victor Whiskey. Yes, I am in the city of Conroe. And answer the question of the day, I do have a radio, but my antenna is in the attic. Like you said before, the attic is good enough or close enough to the roof, or at least to the outside. So 7-3, everybody, thank you for allowing me coming into the net, and talk to you in the morning, bro. Adios, WP4.
Alrighty, have a good evening, Milton. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Next up, N7WZI, Alan, who up in somewhere near Portland, Oregon, I think. Good evening. Well, Alan, I saw you key up there, but we got no modulation whatsoever. You hang in there, bud, and I'll come back to you in a bit. Maybe you can see what's going on. Let's go to KO4FRR, one of our members here at the East Coast Reflector. Joe in Sorrento, Florida. Good evening, Joe.
Well, good evening, Scott. This is Joe, KO4FRR. Sorry about that. I was coming back from dinner, and you guys were already on the 4, so I ended up waiting, and as soon as I get done, I'm going to bed. Just to answer the question, yes. This is Kid Joe, KO4FRR. Back to you.
Thank you, Joe, and you have a good evening. KE2, GBD, Andrew in Wisconsin, New York. Looks like you're new to the system. Welcome. GBD, are you still
with me. Well, I guess he was just in and out tonight. Let's go to KE2 FZA. John Buffalo. Good evening, John.
Hi, thanks, Scott. KE2FCA. No, being a brand new ham, I still just have a handheld here, so no base station and no antenna outside. Thanks, and back to control.
Alrighty. Thanks for joining us tonight, John. Appreciate it. Next up, KI5WYC. Luke in Texas. Good evening, Luke.
Good evening. I'll be honest, I kind of forgot the question. Could you repeat it again?
Why, certainly. Do you have a UHF VHF base station with an outdoor antenna?
Thank you. I will say I do have a UHF VHF. It's a DMR capable, but the antenna, I'm currently just working with a mag mount antenna, and it's sitting in my attic. So that's the best spot it can be, and it's working pretty good, better than what it was before. KI5WC, back to you, Ned. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. You have yourself a great evening. Next up, W2PW, Press, down in Patchogue, New York. Good evening, Press.
Good evening, Scott and everybody on the net, W2PW. And greetings from the other end of the state. How's things going there in Chickadawagadure? Hey. I mean, if you're going to mispronounce mine, I'll mispronounce yours. Vegas there. Hey, so yeah, I'm on a base. I have a FTM 400 and a pretty good height antenna, at least until I wind up moving on. And I do have also a base over at Darlene's house that I'm experimenting with making like an IRLT node or an off-site backup, all stuff, things like that. They're kind of fun. Back to you, W2PW.
Alrighty, thanks, Press. Appreciate you joining us. And yeah, a great evening. Go Bills. Is that VX? Tim, Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. Looks like your new system. If you make your email public on QRZ.com, we'll get your welcome letter out. Good evening, Timothy. Good evening, Scott, and everybody on net. Yeah, too, on this week on this net here. And greetings to all. I'm running 3 different radios. I'm running an FT7800, an older radio, but I can't find anything that will beat it. And I also run an FTM 200D and an all-mode 817 ND VHF, UHF, all mode. And it does HF also, but I'm not hooked up to that. I'm running like a lot of other people running on a balcony, and I'm running a tram dual band vertical antenna on a it's very similar spec to the Diamond 50, X50. I'm also running Larson mobile antenna, 45 years old, on a piece of metal on my windowsill. So and it does quite well. I'm on the 3rd floor. Anyway, back to you, and thanks for letting me come in and join your net. This is Victor Echo, Zulu Victor X-ray, Tim and Kirk. Alrighty, thank you, Tim, and don't be a stranger. We're here every Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock. And bring some amateur-related questions if you have any with you. Let me just acknowledge 2 more states, 2GBD and a KD8 at BFY via the text line. I just like to let everybody know the text line is now closed for the evening. We have our list. K5
HLH, Harry in Grants, New Mexico. Good evening, Harry, and do you have a VHF base station with an outdoor antenna? Roger. I have 3 base stations. One of them's kind of a backup, but my repeater and my all-star links are both UHF and VHF link radios, and 3 base stations with outdoor antennas, a tram, a couple other homemade ones, etc. Have a good night, K5HLH from the Cibola County Amateur Radio Club. We have you linked into our all-star. All right, thanks for joining us, Harry. We appreciate it. This is W2BLT. Next up, at KJ5 EXB, Frank in Sugar Land, Texas. Good evening. KJ5DXB, good evening to you, Scott, Vicky, and everybody. Yep, put me down for yes. Got my mobile Icon 2730 set up as a base. Got my dual base antenna up in the attic right now. Thanks for the check-in. Have a good evening, KJ5DXB. Back to you. There, we had these push-to-talk was stuck there, but we took care of it. Let's go to KI4, KYS, Henry in Lake Butler, Florida. Good evening. KI4, KYS, Henry, are you still there? But that's going to be left to the next guy that owns it, not me. I think it's transmitting about 120 watts. It's right on frequency, both in transmit and receive, so hey, Jim is in and out. KO4, ZER. Stephen in Monroe, Georgia, looks like you're new to the system. Welcome.
Well, good evening, Scott. Thanks for having me on the radio tonight. I'm actually here in Pigeon Forge talking on my HC, my FT70 radio. I've got a station home, FTM 400 plus K2, 1500. Systems, all kind of stuff going on, but I'm here in the cabin for the and I found you guys on the Peter Bug. Thanks so much for having me in, and I'll turn it back to you next for New York.
All right, thanks, Steve. You started to fade there a little bit. Watch out for the bears over there. Have a good evening.
and appreciate you joining us. Let's go to W4AB, Broward in Weston, Florida. Good evening. On KC0 BBF, Steve in Lincoln, Nebraska. Good evening.
This is KC0BVS. You Scott, the rest of the Zoom group. Not much going on here. I have outdoor stuff since I moved into the apartment. Closest thing is the Larson dual-band UHF VHF antenna close to a window. And I'm on the second floor and it does pretty good. We'll see you guys tomorrow in the Zoom room. Back set, KC0BVS.
Alrighty, thanks for joining us, Steve, and have a good evening. This is W2BLT. Next up, KJ5LCD. Luis in Magnolia, Texas. Good evening.
Hey, good evening to everybody out there listening. Yes, I have a UHF VHF base station. I have the Yaesu FTM510. And I have a 3-section tram antenna. I forgot the model number, but it's 17 foot long and it's sitting on my roof about 13 feet off the ground. And it gets me pretty far out there. I'm hitting repeaters, I would say, with a good 20-30 miles from me on a good day. But this is KJ5LCD, and I'll send it over back to Net Control.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, and have yourself a great evening. N5LYS, Greg in Pasadena, Texas. Good evening. How about KE2GBD, Andrew in the Constant, New York. Good evening. KD8BFY, Roland in Troy, Michigan. Nothing heard. That's going to do it for tonight, folks. Appreciate everybody that stopped by tonight and chatted with us. On behalf of WB2JPQ, Dick, KE7K, Kevin, and VE8 or KE8VKY, Vicky on the log. This is W2BLT Scott wishing everybody a great evening, and we'll talk to you on the morning brew, 7 a.m. Everybody have a great night. 7-3.
UA.
Radio check, you are pretty covered up by static there. This is K4KU. Whiskey 3 Sierra Golf Tango listening.
Victor, so 3, Oscar, Uniform Alpha. Harry, what is the echo link for the morning brew? So maybe I can get them on my computer. I can't get here on my radio.
Was someone asking about the echo link for the morning brew?
Yes, please. How are you doing? My name is Rudy. I'm in Toronto. Can I please, sir?
Yeah, hi Rudy, my name is Kevin, VE3B. I'm about an hour and a half north of you. The Echo Link Reflector, or the conference for the East Coast Reflector, if you have a pen handy, is ECR 9050. That's ECR 9050, and just look for that in the Echo Link conference, and you'll be all set.
ECR 9050. Thank you so much, sir. And that's very, I love that land there. So beautiful. I worked as a counselor when I was younger. I love that area. It's a beautiful area.
E3 WCW.
Hello, Dan.
I've lived here all my life, and yeah, it gets busy in the summertime with tourists, that's for sure. Anyway, I gotta run. Gonna go watch the rest of this hockey game. Anyway, you have yourself a great night, and we'll catch you later. E3BZ.
Take care. Enjoy the hockey.
E3 WCW.
Danny, how are ya?
Rudy, I'm doing good. It's like two worlds colliding. I'm running now, and heard you talking to Kevin, who's one of my club members up north. Great guy, and yeah, great to hear you both chatting there. He's a great fountain of knowledge and always able to help out. So yeah, just heard you there, and just wanted to jump in quick and say hi. Just about to the office QTH, so I'll be shutting her down and going in and doing what Kevin is doing and watch the hockey game. So doing well as this evening too. Rudy, back to you.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Well, tomorrow there's rain coming, so welcome to Headache. In fact, I feel it now. Take care, Sun3, and may the leaves are gone. Damn.
Rudy, now we're all cheering on the try and see if we can get the cup back into Canada after 30-something years. But yeah, you have a great night too. We'll chat later on. And Kevin, if you're still listening, good to hear you there, and go Oilers. V3 WCW. Yeah, hi Dan. Yeah, I'll say a quick hello to you. Just trying to figure out where you're coming in. I guess you're still down in the city here, using that VE3WOO repeater. Roger that. Running on the Woo repeater there. Is just coming from Bolton. I was out that way visiting some friends, doing a trivia night, and just driving, taking the long drive along Dixie or Dury Road, and was just about to pull in there, and I heard Rudy asking, and then I heard you come in, so I thought that was pretty cool. So I just wanted to come in and say hi to both of you. And yeah, what's the score on the Oilers game? Oh, geez, you caught me not paying attention, I guess. I don't know. But I can find out in about 3 seconds. It's still 2-1 Edmonton in the third. Very good, very good. Well, I'm parked in the driveway at the office QTH, and I'm just about to go in and crack a beer, I think, and relax a little bit. So, yeah, great chatting with you as always, Kevin, and take care. Have a great night, and yeah, we'll chat again soon. All right, B3BZ, B3WCW. I'll be clearing your final there, 7-3. All right, Dan, good to hear you on the East Coast Reflector here, and we'll talk to you later. Definitely for sure. Our local net on Friday, 7-3 BE3BZ.